Hey, welcome back. It's Steven, and it is day 5. That's right. I started last Thursday abstaining from alcohol for the month of September, and so today is the 5th. Thank you for you know coming and watching this. The I know I was going to share daily my progress. I'm very pleased to say that um, I survived the third, being the kickoff to college football, and the holiday weekend. Actually went the entire weekend without having anything to drink. So yay for me, I guess. Um, but it was funny. I made some real observations as I go through this journey. Um, I as I mentioned before, I was going to kind of keep you up to date with the progress that's being made, the changes that I've noticed. The first change that I noticed was, boy, I'm sleeping a lot better. Before I was averaging 4.5 hours a night, and now I'm averaging probably closer to 5 hours and 15 minutes to 5.5 hours. But with that, I am exhausted. Anybody who, you know, is going to tell me that alcohol is a depressant, um, you know, boy, I might have the Dr. Johnny Fever, from the WKRP in Cincinnati, where I become more alert, um, you know, when drinking, because I get to about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm absolutely exhausted. I made a mistake one night of having a cup of coffee about 7, and I didn't sleep well that night. But I have found that I need to have a cup of coffee somewhere around 4 o'clock to just pick me up and get me through. But I'm still falling asleep, somewhere, 10, 10:30, 11 range, whereas I had nights where I didn't get to sleep until 1, 2 in the morning. So I am, you know, very tired. Um, I just adjusted um, my tablet here. Hopefully it's not as dark. I apologize for that. I did get a new tablet to help with the recording and stuff. Had a little upgrade. But so yeah, in terms of my energy level, I am finding that I'm tired. Um, and but on the flip side, I'm sleeping better, and your body needs to sleep in order for it to repair and recover itself. The second thing I noticed, which is not pleasant, is my breath has stunk. I mean, there's no getting around the reality, and the reality is it could have killed people, um, especially like Sunday and part of the day yesterday, Monday. I mean, it just was horrible. My wife actually asked me, a couple of times, had I brushed my teeth, and it's like, yes, and it's actually been multiple times, and yeah, I don't know if that is um, um, really kind of a result of refraining from drinking, um, but and because I'm guessing that a lot of my calories, for a long time, a lot of my carbohydrates have been from beer. Um, my body may be going through some form of ketosis. The last time I can remember being this offensive with my breath was when I was doing Atkins, and I know my body was going through ketosis at that time. So maybe that's what's happening. Really not sure. I'm not going to kill anybody today. Yeah, I'm not going to kill anybody today. But it is something that I've tried to correct, without ingesting like sugary mints and stuff like that. But so those are the two big observations that I've noticed. looking at my Fitbit and tracking my heart rate, I've seen that my resting heart rate has gone from the low 70s to the high 60s. I think last night I was at 67. Um, so that's an improvement, and yeah, that may very well be attributable to the abstinence. Um, as I mentioned, the sleep was another thing. Um, you know, but the overall thing, I haven't been craving sugars or sweets, which is a good thing. Um, so maybe that will come later. Uh, I've been eating, somewhere right around the 2,000 calories per day. I've lost a total of 1.8 or 2.0 pounds since Thursday, so in 5 days. And really, as I had mentioned, I'm hitting my 10,000 steps each day. I'm, making sure I get my 50 push-ups in, um, you know, drinking my water and everything. And so, the results are, I think, positive, so far. Um, I don't know. I'll do a little close-up. I have my wrinkles gone down. My nose hasn't shrunk, but yeah, it's overall probably a better, feeling, a better balance as it relates to, my overall health. I didn't expect overnight changes, and but I'm really curious to see. I'll take measurements again on Thursday, and I'll take a progress picture. To see, if my body looks any different. I'll take close-ups of my face again, see if that makes, any difference. But overall, I can tell you, I'm much more clear-headed, except for in the morning. I had thought that my grogginess in the morning was more a function of the alcohol I had consumed the night before. Uh, I'm groggy in the morning, so I think one way or the other, that's just me naturally. Though I can tell you, 20 years ago, I was a morning person. I would routinely get up between 5:30 and 6 and start my day, and I loved doing it. I felt like I was accomplishing a lot. I can't say that I'm feeling that. Um, now it still takes me about 45 minutes to really get going in the morning and get clear-headed. Um, but throughout the day, until I get to that point where I'm super tired, very sharp, very alert, and so that's a positive. So, and then kind of the last thing I wanted to touch upon, and for me, because I was such a social drinker, kind of the peer pressure. Um, it was funny. My um, Monday being Labor Day, we gave or turned my stepkids over to their father, doing our weekly exchange. And ordinarily on a day like that, my wife and I would go to one of our local restaurants and have a couple beers and just kind of relax and enjoy it. Or maybe we would go and catch a movie and have a beer at the movies, or just something that involved having a beer. And so we um, you know yesterday, after exchanging the children, we decided just to take it easy at home, and went for a nice walk on our greenway. But the comment my wife made, which was interesting, um, because in part I was doing this experiment, to see if it would help improve our relationship. Not that I think there's anything wrong with it, but if you're under the influence of some foreign agent, can you possibly be giving your best to your spouse or your mate, or your friends or your kids or your parents, whatever the case may be. And so her comment was, I wish you didn't have to go overboard, in terms of all or nothing. And I reminded her it was just 1 month, and it was really a social experiment for me to see, you know, what the impact would be. Um, but it does affect those in your social circle, and your loved ones, and those that you know participate in those activities with. And so really for me, it's a matter of just asking for understanding. It's 1 month. We have a wedding in October. I'm sure I'll have um, some drinks at the wedding. We have some big football games, and family holidays, Thanksgiving and stuff in November. So I'm sure it's just moving it from being a everyday occurrence to being a special occasion, or maybe a once a week. Um, at some point I'd kind of like to follow Tim Ferriss's 4 hour body, and with that he has one cheat day where basically you can just eat whatever you want, drink whatever you want, do whatever you want. And that might be my October experiment. But so anyways, you have to ask those that are used to running with you and everything to be patient. It's um, it's either a month, a week, a day, whatever you choose to do in terms of abstaining. Um, you know, eh, they'll understand. But peer pressure is real. It would have been very easy to give into it. Um, you know, I was making my wife, a cocktail, or grabbing her a beer over the weekend, and so I was around alcohol. It wasn't like I wasn't around it, but I just chose not to partake. And so I was surprised. I really thought I would kind of get weak. Probably the weakest that I was. We went to Top Golf. It's kind of like a driving range where you have targets and stuff. It's a fun environment. But they had a picture up of I think it was a Bullet. I think it was the brand of the bourbon. A Bullet Old Fashioned. And I looked at the picture. I'm like, oh, that looks good, and it did. Effective advertising, which I think is another one of those pulls that you see, whether it's commercials or print. Um, Advertisers are paid a lot of money to influence people's buying decisions and behaviors. And so for me, I saw that it looked great, and come October, I'll probably order one. But until then, holding off. So I am likely not going to post another video until Thursday. That will be my 1 week. And I'm really hoping, in the next couple of days, I keep talking about, my website and blog and Instagram and Twitter and all that. Really want to set it up, but I want to set it up in a way that I have good information, useful information, and something that you might be drawn to taking a look at. So that's it for now. I want to thank everyone who's watched. If you're interested in following my journey, please click subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of my tribe, and if nothing else, you can sit there and um, be entertained by my um, witty humor, and obviously my lack of recording skills. So thanks again, and I will catch you guys on Thursday. Thank you. Bye-bye.